Shoot another video in the closet. It's quiet in here. It's good sound insulation from everyone else in the house and or in the apartment, and you can't hear the cars too well outside too. In here, it's pretty quiet. Good place to film. It's where I do most of my spiritual stuff, actually. I wanted to come today and do something I haven't seen anyone else do on YouTube or anywhere else, and that's actually give a really good definition of what clairvoyance is. I know the clairvoyance has got clear seeing and all that, but I want to define exactly how it works and exactly what it is, the mechanism by which it works, if I can. And to do so, I'm going to use as an analogy the Matrix, because we're going to have to define exactly what clairvoyance is not in order to define what it is. So if you're not familiar with the movie The Matrix, and if you haven't seen it, you need to stop the video and go watch it right now. What the hell's wrong with you? It's a great movie. But I'll give a short description. In the movie The Matrix, people are going about their daily lives in a simulation, in a dream created by a computer, assuming it's a computer. And they're living in a simulation, going about their day, and they're being basically ripped off for energy by the machines. The world's been taken over by machines. People live in capsules, don't realize that they're in a dream world. And that's pretty much it. And so people get a feeling that what they're seeing is not quite right, and they begin to wake up. And the movie is an analogy for spiritual awakening. It's very close to the truth about the way things are here in the real world. A lot of scientists and philosophers now are saying that, yeah, we're pretty much in a simulation. They're still light years behind sorcerers and magicians that already know for sure that it's a simulation. They're light years behind it. Because have you ever thought in the movie, when you're watching the movie, where the computer was that generates the simulation? Where is it located? How does it work? Too much. You just always assume that it's there, that it's doing its thing. But where do you think the computer is at producing this simulation? Assuming that this is a simulation, which I know that it is, but where's the computer located that's producing our real simulation that we experience every day? Well, I'll tell you, it's your brain. The brain is the supercomputer producing the illusion, the hologram of your day-to-day life. If you look up at the ceiling above you, what's above the ceiling? Is it the second floor? Is it the sky? Is it the roof? What if you had a big machine come along and knock the roof off and you could see the sky when you look up? What would be beyond the sky? You say, well, the stars, maybe. What's beyond those stars? You don't know what it is. So if you took your hand and you placed it on top of your head, like that, and I asked you, what's above the ceiling right now? The truth is, what's above the ceiling is a giant hand. Because the eyes only take light photons and convert them into electrical data that goes to the visual cortex, the back of the brain, and it generates your visual environment around you. It filters what it doesn't want you to see, and it creates things that's not there sometimes. And it's basically just a radar, just a representation of reality. It's a best guess, basically, is all it is. So the Buddhists used to say that part of their enlightenment process would be able to actually realize that when they look out into the mountains or into the cosmos, that they're actually looking at themselves, that it's them. Well, it's factually true. It's spiritually true, but it's factually true too, because when you look at the world around you, you're looking at brain matter. You're looking at the inside of your own head. The brain is encased in bone. and it's always shrouded in darkness under most situations. So when you look at a street light, what is the street light? What is that? It's a light generated by your brain, a computer-generated simulation of what it thinks light is and what light might look like. So when you look at a street light, realize that there's no light actually getting into the brain. And so how are you seeing that? And all of your senses are just electrical signals that go to the brain. The brain is the supercomputer that creates your environment completely. And under normal people will never get a chance to see outside and what's really out there. What's really out there. All you ever see is what's inside you. What's inside you. It's kind of claustrophobic if you think about it. So, now that is the general state that most people are in every day. They sleep, unconsciousness, they dream, and when they're dreaming, they're not seeing what's out there. They're seeing what's out there. Some it's spiritual experiences. As dreams are made up of astral and things. So that's pretty cool. But normal waking adults today only are aware of being in their body, only aware of the illusion of the mind, and that's kind of sad. So clairvoyance is, in different degrees, being able to see through the illusion of reflected light, the veil of reflected light. And the way one does that is one stops the mind from working. As the gurus say, lots of gurus say it, that in order to be enlightened, one must die before they die. Well, this means one learns to shut the brain off while remaining conscious. And then what are you when you aren't, basically? What's left when you're not there anymore? You learn to see with the eyes of the dead. That's what clairvoyance is. And there's different levels to it. I described one in a previous video called the static field. There's a state where you pierce the veil. You pierce the veil of reflected light. They say that, the veils are thin on Halloween night, and the veils are thin in certain areas, and spiritual and paranormal activity occurs. Or they say that the fairy kingdom had a veil placed between it and the kingdom of men. That veil is the veil of reflected light. So that's what clairvoyance is being able to see what's really out there, to stop your mind, to make it stop working temporarily, while with you being conscious, to be able to see what's really out there. Now, I've been working on a book for almost 3 years now, and I've got another 12 months to do. It's my life's work, 50 years in the occult, my own grimoire, and I've written it to be a training manual, to go from beginner to as advanced as I am, basically. It's a training manual, step-by-step instructions, easy stuff to get harder, progressively harder, to mimic the way that I actually learned this art myself. It's only going to be $10. It's going to be a cheap little book, and it's not going to be a little book. It's going to be pretty big. It's going to have lots of stuff in it, like 50 years of stuff I've learned. And you might say, well, in another video, didn't you say you're just 50? Yeah, I am 50. When I was born, I remember being a newborn at the hospital, and I remember getting out of body and having a look around the home that they brought me to when they brought me home from the hospital. So I've been doing things since the very beginning that I can remember, and probably in a few lifetimes before. So I'm going to, as it gets closer to being done, I'm going to put a link, and I'm going to announce it on the video on the channel, and put a link to where you can pre-order it. It's going to be unlike anything else. I'm not going to pull any punches with this book. It's going to be how to do some amazing things, and it's definitely worth the price on it. But anyway, if you like these kind of videos, telekinesis, paranormal, spiritual stuff, like and subscribe, and I will catch you in the next video.